these young women, these incredible young women that you are playing coach to, how was it on set, and why is this such an inspiring series?
Well, there's some loaded questions, but good ones. That to be, I'm a Disney fan. You may not know that, but it's great. It's and what's been interesting to me is like I'm in the middle of the show, right? And I'm doing it, I'm seeing it, I'm seeing cuts, and then all of a sudden you see the promo for it, and it's the Disney magic was sprinkled over it. I was like, when did they do that? Like, it just becomes a Disney, and to see that, coming to Disney Plus, I get so excited. This show, you get a call from the agents. They said, you're going to get an offer for a David Kelly show. I'm like, get out of here. I love it. What's it about? Do I play a lawyer? Is it like Big Little Lies part 2 or 3? I said, no, it's about basketball. I'm like, oh no, like that. Because I am like the anti-jock. I am a band geek. I was a band geek. I still am. So that was the thing. But then I realized that it's so much more, we didn't plan it, but like, it is really of the time, isn't it? I mean, we didn't know there was going to be a pandemic. We didn't know that this month when we're launching women's basketball was going to be in the headlines with equality to the men's. I mean, and also, I mean, to do a show like this with a character like this, who's so stuck in his ways, who's so sort of blind, has blinders on about how to do things and how the world works, to be thrown in with all these women, powerful women, and have him release his preconception of them or his assumptions of them and connect with them. That's powerful. That's breaking down stereotypes. And that's the thing I'm most proud of, I think, so far.
I think people will get that seeing this. It's beautiful, the relationships that you build on that set. The role of being a coach, although you're not a sports guy, to take on that role and have these young folks there, did it bring out more of the dad in you? Did you find yourself being dad on set as well?
I found myself turning into my dad. My dad was, Corn. Yeah, my dad was like Corn. He was tough on the outside and a softie on the inside. My mom used to say he had a roar like a lion, but the heart of a lamb. And when that happens, it's kind of cool. And I watch back. I was watching with my family the other day, and they're like, "You're dad. You're doing dad." And then Holly in the second episode calls me an entitled jock, and they start laughing. I said, "What are you laughing?" I said, "She called you a jock. Entitled we get, but jock." But the coaching part was the hardest part. And then I think when I finally found it, I spent some time with the great Jerry West, the logo Lakers. Are you a sports person? Did you play sports or anything?
I did. I played basketball growing up all my life, and I'm a Warriors since birth. Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah.
And did you bought into some of this stuff, and were you like, yes, and it's good to sort of illuminate some of this that's happening right now, right?
Absolutely. My sister wanted to go to the WNBA. We're big sports people. So just to have this, and young girls can watch and see what they can do and the power they have.
Right. And his message is right on in the beginning. I mean, again, the coaching stuff was, technical, but when he says, it's hard out there, and you have to do your best. Like what they don't tell you in high school is that it's cruel and it's mean and it's hard, and you don't have a fighting chance unless you fight. And he doesn't mean, fight. He means be your best. Look in the mirror at the end of the day and go, I did my best today. I worked my hardest. I practiced the hardest. I was kind. I was nice. I cared about other people. I was grateful. All those things, though, that's what this guy was about. And that's, all his little grumpy stuff goes away when you hear that, when you read that.
Yeah, because it's coming from the heart. And you mentioned your family watching it with you and seeing you like your father. As a dad right now, have you had any new milestones with Billy? I know he's grown.
Yeah, well, every day is a milestone. I mean, it's just like when you look at them and go like, oh, he's a human being now. It's weird. We put so much, especially my wife especially, we put so much effort into it. But I have a daughter on the show, and my character has been an absent father, and he, doesn't really know how to be a father, certainly to a 16-year-old girl. And she moves in with me. And I remember when I first met with David, when he told me that, he goes, okay, I said that there's this, because the basketball stuff is great, but it's going to get, where's the family part of it? And she moves in, and he doesn't know how to be a dad. And he says, I'm doing this for you. The houses and the schools. And she says, no, you're not. You're doing this for you. I need you. I don't need that coach, And he goes, oh. And then by the end of the series, episode 10, he says, I get it now. I get it. It's about sacrifice. It's about putting your needs aside for the good of your child. And at the end of the day, you don't win a prize, you don't win a trophy, or you don't get a fancy ring. But what you get is you get a kid who's loving enough and caring enough and kind enough to be a better version of you.
Yeah.
That's very sweet. And I think about that every day now.
Definitely. I know Billy has great parents, obviously, to look up to you and your wife. I jumped on to your Instagram. Everyone's talking about, you are aging backwards. Is it because of family? You can still do thirst traps and show us how good you look. And the two of you here. Oh,
that was nice lighting.
What's your secret? What's your secret?
It's, what my secret is? The touch up your face on Zoom. That's what, you crank that up. I feel older, and I've been kicking and screaming into, being an adult now for a long time. And you just have to stop and go, I'm getting older. But what was I going to say? I ran into somebody recently, and he had a bunch of kids. He goes, now you're going to look old now that you got a kid. It's true. You don't get much sleep.
Well, you're doing it. You're taking care of yourself. It's good. You're good.
I try. I was doing this thing for Harper's Bazaar. They wanted me to show my nighttime, regime and stuff. And I go, and I said yes, but then I got into it. I'm like, I use a bar of soap a lot of the times and then just move on. But I mean, as I'm getting older, I try to, I get facials and, put all the creams and ointments on. But, I don't know. I have to probably just thank my parents because, it's pretty good genes and good lighting. I got lights in here now. You become a DP during this pandemic.
I see. It's all lit up there. It looks great. I know we have like 60 seconds left. Again, I just want to congratulate you, obviously, on this series on Disney Plus. Again, a big fan of that, Disney yourself. There is a show that you were on. This is the last question I got for you. Friends. Do you remember when you were a guest star on that? They have a reunion coming up this week.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Do you remember any moments on set? I know I got the Rachel haircut. Did you have any crushes? What was the feeling on that set?
That's a good question. One of the girls on the show, the girl who plays Louise, she, during the shooting, she came to me and she said, you were a guest star on Friends. And I sort of, I'm not even kidding. I kind of put it out of my, sometimes it comes up, but I really haven't thought about it. The show was shot on the same stage as Full House. And I remember being down there. And I haven't told the story. This is interesting. I came on and I was playing the sperm donor or something, right? Like they wanted a thing. And I remember, and I knew Matthew Perry and I knew Courtney, and they were very kind to me. And I had this entrance where the character would come, the door would open, and I came in, and they said, okay, you come in here and you hold for applause, and and then you take your moment and then you move on. And Matt Perry's like, oh man, they're gonna be excited. And I open the door, I walk in, silence, nothing, and I'm like, and Matt just says the line, and then we went on, and I was like, I don't know if they didn't, I don't know what it was, but I remember just being sort of heartbroken. Like they were all waiting for the people to clap and in the audience, and they didn't. I was like,
That's what you remember from that.
That's what I remember. That, and what was weird, right? I haven't seen it in years. They were checking me out to see if I would be a good donor or something, right?
Yeah.
I've had people ask me, by the way, for that, and I said no.
To be a donor?
Yeah. Is that weird?
We'll save that for the next interview.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Stay safe. Thank you.
Thanks.